Namaste, dear students. In the previous class of political science, we have learned about the federalism, its meaning, and main features of the federalism, and what makes India a federal country. So let us look into that part. For that, we have to study the key features of federalism. We have to understand. I hope in the previous class you have learned about the key features of federalisms in India. There are two levels of government. Different tiers of the government are working in India and they have their own jurisdiction and they take decision on legislation, taxation, administration, etc. So on that, when they work, the jurisdictions of these respective levels of the tiers of government are specified by the Constitution. And fundamental provisions of the constitutions are also shown in it. All these things we have learned in the previous classes. Now let us look into the main important features in the Indian federalisms. What makes India as a federal nation? In India, the power is shared among the levels of the government, and there each government is having certain subjects to deal with. Like union government means a central government. All the national important subjects like defense, foreign affairs, banking, communication and currency matters are concerned, or subjects are concerned, central government will deal with. In the state government, the local important subjects such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture, irrigation, etc. are deal in the state government, or the second part of the federal state what we discussed. One is central level, another one is state level. Another subject included in the Indian Constitution is called concurrent list. The common interest of the both union government and state government are merged here, such as education, forest, trade union, etc. These issues, whenever it is being raised, union government also will make the law and state government also will make the law, but finally the union government will be placed into action, or it will work on us. Certain subjects which are not in the Constitution list at all, on those subjects, who will make the law? That power we call it as a residuary power. So those subjects, the union government will make the law. So the special status some of the states were having earlier, but now it has been stopped. These are the points which we could discuss in our previous class. Now let us look into that. Reason for the success of federalism in India, how it could succeed. Since 1947 to 2020, when we are looking, beautifully the federal system has been working in the country. The first one, when we created a state, we used a policy of language. We created a linguistic states. So that linguistic states, when we have created, many states have come up based on that spoken language in that area. But some of the leaders, they felt that this policy of creating the states may cause damage to the unity and integrity of the nation. Later, not only the language, the differences based on culture, ethnicity, geography, all these things are also considered. Later, Nagaland, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, they were created. The experience has shown that the formation of this linguistic state has actually made the country more united. It has not damaged. We have experienced now also. Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu are working well. So the language policy, again, the second one which we have adopted. For that to see, again, let us look into this part. Dear students, in the India, another policy which we have adopted, so well it has worked, that is on languages. What is the language policy we have adopted? In the federation, India is such a country, so many languages are spoken, and here the people have adopted their own languages as a official languages in their states. In that, Hindi was identified as a official language. One question came, whether we have to use only Hindi. When it has questioned, automatically only 40% of the people speak the Hindi in the country. Remaining what? To safeguard the interest of other languages besides the Hindi, 21 other languages they have considered for an official language. Much of the government work started to take place on the languages which has been spoken in the respective states. Now that state official language being used. Up to 1965, according to the Constitution of India, we must use only Hindi. Up to 1965, it was decided. Use of English as a official purposes was accepted. And after 1965, we have to stop to use the English. However, non-Hindi speaking states, they demanded English to continue. Dear children, the English medium course, what we are reading at present, could have been stopped in 1965 itself. The regional languages could have been improved at a greater. But it did not happen because many states, non-Hindi speaking states, they demanded the use of English to be continued. The movement has took place in Tamil Nadu. The central government responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with the Hindi for the official purposes. Many critics, many oppositions. Finally, the promotion of Hindi as an official language was continued and declared as an official language. Why they have come to the conclusion that English and Hindi has to continue as an official language of the country? The promotion of any language should not be imposed forcefully on the other states. There should be a flexibility in the considerations. This experience already we have seen in the Sri Lanka's majoritarian government is concerned. When they have imposed the Sinhala, that time there was an opposition from the Tamilians. And Simhala people only recruited in the appointments and all. This all damaged the democratic system of the country. Same way it should not happen in the India. So they decided flexibility to be given. So Indian political leaders, really we have to be thankful for them to taking such a wonderful decision to continue the English and as well as Hindi and their state official languages. This we could understand. This problem was resolved well in the country because the democratic system in this country is very strong enough to take care of it. Dear students, how beautifully this federal system is working in India, to understand, we have to go through the relationship between the center and state, how it is. Constitutional arrangements definitely we have made. And their power has been clearly mentioned, what to do, what not to do. And other thing also we have to look into, the large extent, the ruling parties and the leaders, how they accept it and go ahead with these are all the policies which are mentioned in the constitution. What happened in the country in the beginning, there were different political parties were ruling. One is in the center, ruling party is different and state governments are different. And central government often started to misuse the constitutional powers and they started to give the trouble for the state governments and they started to suspend the state governments. Whenever there was an opposition party of the central government is functioning in a state government, they have suspended or dismissed the state government for some reasons and they started to rule on it. This was challenged in 1990. There was an unrest in some of the states. It should not happen like this. In 1990, the regional political parties in many states in the country, they started to develop very fast. So far, what they called national parties started to lose the election. No single party could get the majority to form the government at the center. In such cases, to make the government, one system they have brought up that we call it as a coalition government. The term coalition government means many political parties will come together to make the government. In that, regional parties were also there. The single party is not there. In such cases, they have to respect the regional parties of that area. This was continued. This led to the new culture of power sharing and respect the autonomy of the state governments. The problem was solved through political system which is existing in the nation. This trend was supported by the major judgment given by the Supreme Court also. The central government dismissing the state governments for an arbitrary manner without any proper considerations and constitutional provisions, without considering the constitutional provisions, if it takes place, the Supreme Court started to interfere in it. Thus, the federal power sharing is more effective today. No government can be suspended so easily by the central government. So, constitutional amendment has taken place. This is the way how we have come up with the solution for the problems which are existing in the country whenever challenges came. This is the way how the federalism is practiced. These are one or two examples for us to say that the federalism is working well in the nation. Dear students, in the recent time, the decentralization of the power started to take place in the country. We have already noted there are a federal governments. One is two levels of governments, that is central government and state government. And these two tiers of the government is not enough to take care some of the local issues which are existing in the country. The biggest country in the world, seventh biggest country in the world, area is also very vast, culturally different religious practices are also cultural practices are existing here, and here states are so big that, example, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh is bigger than Russia. Maharashtra is almost like Germany. Such kind of the large area they own. Is it enough to have only two levels of the government to care all the needs, or catering all the needs and requirements of that regions? For that, they decided to decentralize the power. They created third tier of the government called local government. Through the constitutional amendment, we have created local government. Some of the powers of the central and state government had been given to the local government. This we call it as a decentralization of the power. Means now two-tier government we converted into three-tier government. The third level of the government we call it as a local government. Some of the powers of the central government and state government being taken and given to the local government. What is the basic idea behind this? Large number of the problems and issues which are existing in the local level can be resolved through this. People have a better knowledge of their problems in their locality. What and priority basis also they can solve their problems. What should be the first? A government which is sitting at the capital towns of the particular state or in the national level, they cannot deal with this efficiently. So the local people, by taking the decisions according to the need, can be made possible here. This helps to inculcate the habit of a democratic participation also. The local governments, the best way to realize one important principle of a democracy in the world. Dear children, the decentralization was recognized in the Constitution. Since then, several attempts were made also to decentralize the power and giving more and more power to the village and town local governments. In this regard, many elections and all were conducted. Elections were not regular. Like these issues started to come up. In 1992, major step was taken in the decentralization of the power. The constitutional amendment was made to give more power to the local government. What are the provisions they have created there? In 1992, constitutionally, it is a mandatory to have regular elections for the local government. This was the first step. And seats were reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes, even for the women. And at least 1/3 of all positions to be reserved for the women. This provision was created by bringing a changes in the constitution in 1992. An independent institution called State Election Commission has been created. The State Election Commission responsibility to conduct elections for the local bodies, means local government. In the local government, three levels again we have to look into that. One is Panchayati Raj. Then we have to say municipal corporations, municipalities. Otherwise, in order we can say for the big towns where population is huge, their municipal corporation. In the second, in the towns, municipality. Another one is Panchayat Raj. So the state governments are required to share the power with these local governments or local bodies. But the sharing of the power is not same in every state. State to state it differs. Let us know the three local governments what I mentioned now for you. One is the rural local government called as Panchayati Raj. It is at the village level, or some of the villages will come together and they will make it Gram Panchayat. This is a council of consisting of several ward members. All they called Pancha, or president or sarpanch will be nominated by them, and there is no political party system over here to conduct the election, and a persons will contest in the election who are elected from that ward. They will be representing that ward to the panchayat. All the adult population of that ward will elect them. Here, this panchayat body is a decision making body for the entire village. So this whole panchayat system, which is taking care of the area, is supervised by the Grama Sabha. All the voters in the village are its members. It has to meet at least twice in a year. Means all the people to be informed that we will have a Grama Sabha and you come and raise the issues and problems or the whatever you are facing challenges in the locality. So according to the need, annual budget of the Grama Panchayat is going to be presented, and Gram Panchayat will send it to the state government to get some of the income or a grants from there, or some of the income also it can generate for that amendment has been made in the state governments. Like this, the Grama Panchayats, many Gram Panchayats will come together. They will make block or mandal or Panchayat Samiti. Means number of Gram Panchayats will come together to make a block level or mandal level or Panchayat Samiti. These members, a representative body, are going to be electing all the Panchayat Samitis, mandals, district level together. They will constitute. One is Panchayat, Gram Panchayat, flat development, then mandal or mandal, then third level at the district level they will have Jilla Parishad. So the three levels will be there in the Panchayati Raj system. One is Grama Panchayat, black level or a mandal level or a Panchayat Samiti, and highest level is a Jilla Parishad. For each level, the members are elected by the voters of that particular wards or a section. In the Jilla Parishad also, most of the members are elected by the people from the particular fixed area of the district. And as well as the Lok Sabha and member, means MP and MLA, are also going to be members of the Jilla Parishad. There will be a district level bodies on this. Jilla Parishad, the chairperson, is the political head of the Jilla Parishad. Means Jilla Parishad also will have one chairperson, president. He will be elected by the people. This is the Panchayati Raj system. Systematically, we have to develop this one. Notes. Panchayat Raj system, Gram Panchayat, Mandal, Jilla Parishad, what they are. Now let us come to the second type of the local government, which is working in a state, that is municipality. Purasabha, what we call it, municipalities. So these municipalities constituted into municipal corporations also. In the municipalities in the towns, there are a very big cities are existing. There another type of the government will work. that we call it as municipal corporation. Both municipality and municipal corporation, how they will work, same way how the Panchayat Raj. There will be, that city will be divided into a number of wards. Each ward will elect a particular member, and all these members will constitute to the government, local government, and one person they will elect as a chairperson. So this chairperson, municipal corporation will have a chairperson, municipal chairperson. He is a political head. In municipal corporation, this chairperson is called mayor. In municipality, he is called chairperson or a president, or in the municipality. In the municipal corporation, the head who is elected for the local government, he is called mayor. So in this way, the three levels of the government will work. This is entirely a new system to the democratic nations of the world, and most successful system in the world. To wonder to know, there are 36 lakh elected representatives are there in the panchayatis and municipalities. The number is bigger than the population of the many countries in the world. So the constitutional status which we have given to the local government has made it as a more powerful, and our democracy became more deepened. The people are ruling themselves. It has also increased women representation in the democracy. Dear children, in the history you have seen feminist movement. In the French Revolution, on voting rights itself was not given, but here the women are contesting in the election, not only voting rights, they are part of the local government. At the same time, there are many difficulties are also, challenges are also existing, but the success of this type of government, we can say that because of a democratic system which is existing in our country. Most of the governments, they have transferred their powers to the local government. Some of the government adequate resources they have not provided. For that, some of the local governments are suffering. All this, when we look into, to create a self-government, we are all working. So this is how the decentralization of the power has taken place in the country, and country is working well. So let us look into this part now. Dear children, so far we have got through the chapter federalism. In that we could understand how the federalism is working in our country, how the decentralization of the power has taken place, that also we have seen. Now I will show you some of the slides to make important points and prepare your own notes and create a dictionary for this. Definitely this chapter will be very clear for you. Dhanyavad.